minerals, and 3 vitamins needed to build healthy new bone. And AlgaeCal Plus contains all of them, and it's proudly made in the USA. Your calcium doesn't increase bone density. AlgaeCal Plus does. Talk to one of our bone health consultants today and see how AlgaeCal Plus can start increasing your bone density. Call now.
800-395-7074. 800-395-7074. 800-395-7074. That's 800-395-7074.
Online at myclallamcounty.com. Newsradio KONP, Port Angeles, Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Just days after the Secret Service captured a suspect in connection with another assassination attempt against Donald Trump, the former president back on the campaign trail at an event in Michigan later today. Vice President Kamala Harris in Philadelphia fielding questions from members of the National Association of Black Journalists, including her talk with the former president after the attempt.
Vice President Harris spoke by phone Tuesday with former President Trump. A call a White House official said was cordial and brief. Harris expressing to Trump she's grateful he is safe after the apparent assassination attempt. The vice president at an event with the National Association of Black Journalists speaking about their conversation.
I checked on him to see if he was okay.
Yeah.
And I told him what I have said publicly. There's no place for political violence in our country.
Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The U.S. says it's investigating the explosions in Lebanon today when pager devices exploded. Hezbollah blaming Israel for the widespread attack. ABC's Tom Sufi-Burridge has more.
Israeli officials have not said anything about this series of explosions inside Lebanon where apparently pager devices have detonated in a very coordinated and sophisticated way.
9 people were killed, more than 2,700 others injured. State Department Matthew Miller commented on the incident.
We are gathering information on this incident. I can tell you that the U.S. was not involved in it.
In court today, hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs pleaded not guilty to federal charges, including racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, forced labor, and kidnapping. U.S. prosecutors accuse Combs of preying on young women and men for more than 2 decades. And a merger between Hawaiian and Alaska Airlines one step closer. The Transportation Department says it will not stop it if both airlines agree to demands aimed at protecting consumers. It includes maintaining inter-island routes. You're listening to ABC News.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Some of the families of immigrant workers who died after the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed in March in Baltimore are filing a lawsuit.
Relatives of 3 of the 6 victims who died asking a federal court to prevent the ship's owner, Grace Ocean Private Limited, based in Singapore, from escaping legal liability. The lawsuit maintains the cargo ship should have never left its port after suffering sporadic power outages that would impair its controls.
ABC's Derek Dennis. 8 workers doing maintenance on the bridge fell into the water. 6 died. Instagram says it's taking some new steps to help protect younger users.
Instagram is rolling out teen accounts, which CEO Adam Mosseri tells ABC News will automatically enroll users under 18 in certain features.
Things like who can contact them, what content they see, and how much time they spend on their device.
Mosseri also says they're working on ways to crack down on teens who lie about their age.
Things like requiring a teen to verify their age if they try to change their birthday. Things like not allowing someone to create a new account with a different birthday on the same device.
Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
In Portugal, thousands of firefighters are working to contain nearly 100 wildfires raging across the northern part of the country. At least 7 people have died, including 4 firefighters. 50 others have been injured. An unknown number of residents have been forced to evacuate. An extreme fire warning has been extended until Thursday night. Michelle.
It's one of our most favorite times of the year here at Airport Garden Center. We're enjoying all the full blooms and aromas, with it being the perfect time to take advantage of our big summer savings. Through the end of the month, buy 3 bags of G&B Organic Soil Building Conditioner and receive the 4th bag free. 4th bag free. This product is great for breaking up hard clay soils to improve drainage. It also promotes root development, which makes it perfect for mulching and top dressing. G&B Organics offers rich organic ingredients to give your PNW soil just what it craves. Right now, buy 3 bags, get the 4th free through the end of the month. It's also the season for weddings and anniversaries. If you're looking for a special, unique gift, Airport Garden Center is proud to support locally sourced items perfect for a wedding or anniversary. The Airport Garden Center's knowledgeable staff is sure to plant a smile on your face. Enjoy all the colors of the season with help from your garden experts at Airport Garden Center.
KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding agents, outstanding results, 457-6600. If Clallam County enacts a sales tax increase that would fund arts and culture programs, voters will decide. County commissioners this week revisiting the idea of the 0.1% sales tax increase to help fund nonprofit arts, heritage, and cultural programs. The state allows local areas to add that tax, and it can be enacted by the governing board or through a vote of the people. During a work session, commissioners agreed that they should put that before a vote of the people. They'll regroup and come back with a proposal later. It's already too late to put such a measure on the ballot this year.
Here's your Newsradio KONP forecast, brought to you by Olympic Game Farm. Chance for isolated rain showers this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. Highs around 63. Northerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overcast skies again tonight. Chance for isolated rain showers. Lows level off around 52. Daytime highs approaching 63. Tomorrow, cloudy skies expected. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Thursday, daytime highs approaching 62. 60 Friday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 59 Saturday, 60 Sunday, and 61 on Monday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, 63.
It's the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP. Now, here's Todd.
And welcome once again to the program. Going to spend the first segment talking about diapers today. Actually, it's an interesting and a big fundraiser for First Step Family Support Center. We have a couple of folks who are involved with that organization joining us. Alicia Anderson is the executive director. Alicia, it's good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by.
Good to see you.
And we also have Kelsey Millett here, who's the director of family well-being at First Step. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by, too.
Yeah, good to see you as well.
All right. Let's, first of all, Alicia, let's talk about the fundraising. Then we'll talk a bit more after that about just First Step in general. But this is kind of a unique thing, but it's a big deal. You're raising money, and it's all for diapers. And I didn't realize what a huge issue this is for families.
Yeah. So this year we wanted to participate in National Diaper Need Awareness Week, which starts 23rd through the 27th, and really just kind of bring awareness and community attention to how important diapers are for families and what kind of big challenges families are facing around diaper need. All babies need diapers. It's something you just can't get away from. And diapers are really, really expensive. I mean, little babies take, 12 diapers a day, and that can easily cost, $80 to $100 a month. So it's a massive expense for families.
And I'm not buying diapers right now, but I know that inflation has been particularly tough on diaper prices.
Absolutely. Lots of things, costs have gone up, but especially for families who are, lower income families or families living in poverty, the cost of diapers can really just be absolutely a breaker for their family. It's some of the national statistics are, 1 in 2 families are experiencing diaper needs of all the families that have kiddos in diapers.
That's half. I mean, just why don't we say it that way? 50%, half of the families out there having problems getting, affording diapers, essentially.
Absolutely. And, I think that number is actually even even higher in our area.
Right.
We have, 25% of kiddos under the age of 5 live below the federal poverty line on the Olympic Peninsula. And so we know that diapers are absolutely a need for families, and we just really appreciate being able to help fill that gap for families.
Yeah. Kelsey, let's talk maybe just a bit about the importance of that, because what happens if you can't afford diapers, you're going to have to shift money that might be used for something else to afford the diapers. I mean, and then you run into a slippery slope where, families are maybe not eating right. They're doing other things because they got to pay for diapers.
Yeah, exactly. Diaper need is so important. It actually contributes to a lot of other barriers, making it to work. You can't, if you don't have diapers for childcare, you can't bring your child.
Good point. Yeah.
Lots of different reasons why helping with that. If we can help with diapers, they might have some more money to pay their utility bill or provide fuel for their car to transport their child to childcare and to make it to work. So
I never even really thought about that, but it's true. If you don't have diapers, you can't take the kid to childcare, even if you have childcare. That's a secondary barrier there, right, as well. So let's talk about how you're going to help us out here help you out. So Alicia, tell us about the diaper drive.
Yeah, it's really kind of simple. We were so excited to partner with some of our local banks. So banks can help support a diaper bank, which is kind of fun. And we are asking our wonderful partners at First Security, Sound Community Bank, Key Bank, Chase Bank, Umpqua Bank, and Straight View, where anyone can go into any of those branch locations across all of Clallam and Jefferson counties and donate diapers into these wonderful bins that are there. And they can also donate online if they want to make a cash donation to the diaper drive. And then we're really grateful for our partners at First Security Bank, and where you can stop by and donate diapers or make a cash donation at First Security for the week of National Diaper Need Awareness, so the 23rd through the 27th. And cash donations up to $1,000 are going to be matched by First Security. So it's a really great way to make an impact.
All right. You can go. You have some buying power. Folks need to realize that making this cash donation it goes a bit farther when they do it this way rather than just giving direct diapers to you.
It really does. We have a warehouse space thanks to our partners at the port. We have been able to have a not huge but warehouse space, and we're able to buy diapers in bulk, sometimes by the pallet and sometimes by the shipping container, and make our dollars go further. So cash donations will definitely go into the diaper bank program, helping to support the staff and resources for the diaper bank, but also we can make those purchases go a little bit further when we're able to purchase wholesale.
All right. So with the diaper, how do they get distributed? Kelsey, how do you get these out? You have this. We're going to hope you have an overflowing warehouse of diapers. How do they get to the right people?
Well, once we get them all into the warehouse, then we distribute them to our 11 diaper depot locations across Clallam and Jefferson County. We have a wonderful coordinator for the program, and she drives around in our van and makes deliveries to the locations, and then families come in and they can pick up a month's supply of diapers, essentially. And it looks a little bit different at each location. So depending on where you stop in, you may be getting your week's supply, or if you're a more rural location, you might get a whole month's supply.
You have 11 spots, though. So is that across just Clallam County?
Across all of Clallam and Jefferson County. Yeah. And in addition to diapers, they can pick up wipes, they can pick up diaper rash cream. We have infant formula at some of our locations. So making sure they really have access to the supplies they need.
That said, does this diaper drive also help you get things like cream, rash cream, stuff like that?
Absolutely. Yeah. All of that is included in our diaper bank program. And so when we look at, budgeting out, we do definitely prioritize diapers above everything else, but we know that these other supplies are important and are often really hard to access and can be budget breakers. Mm-hmm. So it's important that families have access to all the things they need. I mean, diaper rashes, it sounds really simple, but kids end up in the emergency room. They end up in the doctor's office. If we're not having clean, dry diapers on babies, we end up with kiddos that are seeing the doctor more often. They end up with urinary tract infections, dermatitis, and that leads to all kinds of unfun things. So dirty diapers are more than just an unfortunate thing to deal
Yeah,
with.
it's a
It can be
healthcare
really
issue in a
complicated.
lot of ways. Yeah,
Absolutely.
right, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you can go to these different bank branches, make a donation that way as well. You also are doing it online too. If somebody can't make it to a bank, they can do it online.
They can always go onto our website,
Okay.
firststepfamilysupport.org, and make a donation, or stop by any of our family resource centers and connect with our teams there. And we really are excited to see how many diapers we can bring in. I mean, last year we provided almost 275,000 diapers to over 900 families.
That's incredible. That's a great, that's impactful right there.
It's a lot of diapers. It's a lot of, and I think that just shows the need for families
Yeah.
that they're really seeing is being able to bridge those gaps. We see families come in and talk about, that maybe they were out sick and so they missed a few days of work, or they're between jobs, or maybe they were impacted by a layoff, and being able to kind of support these families with a little bit of help through a diaper, and just help them kind of patch through. And in addition to that, any one of our diaper depots, they're going to connect them with a family resource navigator so that we can make sure that they're getting all the support they need.
Kelsey, I'll put you on the spot. I haven't shopped for a diaper in a long time. What does it cost for a case of diapers right now, roughly?
It ranges anywhere from $30 to $65,
Wow.
depending on where you're shopping. And if you want to get a larger size, it's going to cost more diapers. It's going to cost you more money. There's other places to purchase like Costco, but if you can't afford a membership to Costco, you can't afford to purchase those bulk diapers.
So there you go. I mean, just do the math on that. Because I can tell you, a case of diapers isn't going to last a long, long time. You're going to have to be buying, especially if you have an infant around. Anybody who's raised a small one knows that.
Yep, absolutely. They go through diapers really fast.
Yep. So First Security Branch, First Security Bank branch is here locally. Also go to Sound Community Bank, Key Bank, Chase Bank, Umpqua Bank, and Straight View Credit Union are all places you could do a donation. However, First Security is doing the match, right? So that might be the place to make your dollars go a little bit to, double them up for at least to a certain point.
Yep, absolutely.
Right. So let's talk about First Step in general. A lot of people, they hear about you. They hear about this going on. Give us the elevator speech of what First Step is doing these days here for our families locally.
First Step is here to support families and help them with all the things that they need to thrive. And that could be coming into our family resource centers and playing in a playroom, joining a play group, a support group, a parenting class. It could be getting involved in one of our longer term programs. Our Parents as Teachers program is really fun, working with parent educators on developmental centered parenting. It could be working with our PCAP program to help kind of shape your life and your future. We do all kinds of things, but really the core of what we're doing is helping families create the future that they want and have the resources and support to be able to get there.
Absolutely. Kelsey, what do you do? I mean, what's your day-to-day job beyond talking about diapers here on the radio? What does your title entail? I mean, it's family well-being. That's a pretty broad thing.
Yeah, it is really broad. And that's because there's a lot of things that go into it. But mostly I'm focused on our family resource centers, and we have one here in Port Angeles and one in Forks as well. And then what we do is called pop-up family resources, and we're popping up in spaces and places in Clallam and Jefferson community where we're invited to and bringing resources to families there. And within our family resource centers, we have our diaper banks, clothing closets for children, playrooms, play groups, all kinds of different things, and an opportunity to sit down and connect with one of our family resource navigators and really just talk about what your family's needs are and how to connect to the community. Where can you find these resources if we don't have them there at our centers? We also have parenting classes. What am I missing, Alicia?
We do so much. It's a lot of fun, and really there's a space at First Step for every family, no matter what your situation is. There's a space and a place and a program that's right for you.
I always say these little bundles of joy come with no owner's manual.
No.
And also no manual for how that dynamic's going to change your family in general.
No, absolutely not. And parenting is so hard, and it's so lonely, and it can be so frustrating, and it's isolating. We all figured, found through COVID that we realized just how hard and lonely it can be. And so all the programs that we offer are really designed to build in things that we know strengthen families and strengthen our ability to parent even under stress. And we really work hard to make sure that families can find comfortable ways to access support, and reducing the stigma around accessing support. There's really, I can't say it enough.
Every
there's
family
a spot
needs
for
some help
everybody.
at some point. Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Or even just to come make a friend or play in the playroom, or come play in the mud kitchen and let your kid get messy at our house.
I having raised kids, I could take you up on that. I wish I would have maybe 20 years ago. All right, one last note. You're Beyond Diapers. You also have another event. I'll call it an event coming up here. This is a coat drive, winter coat drive.
Yeah, thank you so much to Kitsap Bank and Operation Warm. This will be the second year that we have winter coat events. And Kelsey, you want to share?
Yeah, Kelsey.
Yeah, our winter coat events actually kick off today. So from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at our Family Resource Center in Port Angeles, 323 East 6th Street. You can bring your child, and if they're not available, you can bring yourself and pick out a free winter coat for all the children in your home. And tomorrow we'll be at our Forks Family Resource Center. And on Thursday, we'll be at Jefferson County Public Health Building with free winter coats for kids in the Jefferson County area.
It's a tremendous outreach. I mean, that's just terrific.
Yeah, we want to make sure that kids are warm and dry and that they have, again, winter coats are expensive. And we want to make sure that families are able to spend their money on the things that they need to spend their money on, like maybe their rent or utility bills or other things, and that we can fill the gaps where we can. So we've got brand new winter coats, and we're really excited to be able to meet and see families. I know kids love coming in and picking out their new coat and getting a chance to try it on and have just the right one. So we have sizes, infant through size 18, kids 18, and we'd love to see folks come on out.
All right, and that's today in Port Angeles from 3 to 5:30 at your place over on 6th.
Yep.
Right.
Yep,
so stop in there, and then for folks out in the West End, it'll be tomorrow at the Forks Family Resource Center. Same time. I should add, is it 3 o'clock?
Oh
tomorrow?
no, tomorrow is 2 to 4.
All right. So if you know anybody out that way, tell them it's 2 to 4.
Yep.
Right.
And then Thursday we'll be in Port Townsend.
Perfect. All right. Alicia Anderson, great to see you again. Thanks for coming in. She's the executive director for First Step, and Kelsey Millett, who is busy these days, I think. It sounds like, with a lot going on with all of what we just talked about. She's director of family well-being at First Step, and donate for the diaper drive. And if you know some kids that need some winter coats, get over there today to get fitted and get one as well. Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Good to
so
see
much
you
for
guys.
having us. We
All right.
appreciate it.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP.
I understand that as our world becomes more automated, receiving personalized service from a real person is more meaningful than ever. I'm Dan Shappy, and as a farmer's agent, I know a thing or two about how to help you select the insurance you want so you can
protect what matters most.
Call 360-681-0696 to learn more and chat with me, a real person and experienced farmer's agent, today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Attention all moms-to-be. North Olympic Healthcare Network's board-certified physicians specializing in family medicine with obstetrics are here to guide and support you on your pregnancy journey. We provide personalized, compassionate care focused on building a long-lasting relationship before, during, and after pregnancy. From pre-pregnancy planning to childbirth to primary care for your whole family, we're with you for the journey. To learn more, visit nohn-pa.org/obstetrics.
Red Carpet Car Wash in Carlsberg is always adding to the list of things they provide to keep your vehicle looking brand new. The full detail shop is just one more service to check off that list. Not only will your interior and exterior shine, your engine will sparkle too. Red Carpet is also getting some winter upgrades, including new equipment in the manual bay and new vacuums. Call Kyle today and let him get you scheduled for your red carpet treatment Tuesday through Saturday. 360-461-0826.
Fall Fest and the Extreme Sports Park presents the 4th annual Fall Fest Family Fun Days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. Our main attraction is the Monster Truck Show, Saturday 6 till 8 and Sunday 1 till 3, with a pit party 1 hour before each show. New this year are monster truck rides all day long. You'll also be able to experience hot air balloon rides, an 18-hole putt-putt course, and a 250-foot dual zip line. All of the same fun activities as past years will happen too, like kids face painting, inflatables, a pumpkin patch, and petting zoo. We still have axe throwing alley, apple slinging, and a favorite, our hay rides. And once again, you'll be entertained by the 4x4 obstacle racing. A DJ will be there all weekend with karaoke Friday night and a glow party Saturday. Enjoy the Maker's Market, food vendors, and our beer garden. Kids 12 and under are free on Friday, and you can make a weekend of it and camp with us. Fall Fest Friday 4 till 10, Saturday 11 till 10, and Sunday 11 till 5 at the Extreme Sports Park in Port Angeles.
In a time of divisive politics, we need a trusted leader with experience to tackle the issues before us. We need a strong economy that families can rely on. We need Senator Drew McEwen in Congress. We need investment in our shipyards so that this district remains the leader in maintaining our Navy's fleets. As a Navy veteran, Senator McEwen will lead the charge to improve our military. In this most critical time, we need leadership that is tested and proven.
This is Drew McEwen, candidate for Congress. Authorized and paid for by Friends for Drew McEwen, Republican.
All right, when we come back in the next segment, we're going to get an important update on a gem in downtown Port Angeles. That's Field Hall and Events, and a bit about what the status is there, especially as it heads into its second artistic season. We'll talk with the president of the board of directors for Field Hall. Brooke Taylor's going to be in right after this.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
Hi, I'm Morgan Grawl-Worthington. I'm a local educator and the head coach for the Port Angeles High School fast pitch softball team. I've known Randy Johnson since the age of 10 when he coached my Little League team. Randy has always been a big supporter of the youth in our community through his leadership in 4-H, the YMCA, and juvenile services. Just as he has supported our kids, I am proud to support Randy for re-election as Clallam County Commissioner, District 2.
Paid for by the committee to elect Randy Johnson for County Commissioner.
The annual Rock, Gem, and Jewelry Show is this weekend. There will be past and new vendors offering a dazzling array of minerals, fossils, crystals, rocks, beads, finished jewelry, and lapidary supplies. A revamped rock alley for kids includes games, a treasure hunt, geode cutting, and rock painting and decorating. Don't forget the $1 raffle with over 40 great prizes. It's fun for the whole family. Come to the show this Saturday and Sunday at Vern Burton in Port Angeles. As always, admission is free.
For the Washington State News Network, I'm Rob Francis. The Coast Guard holding public hearings on last year's implosion of the OceanGate Titan submersible on its way to visit the wreck of the Titanic. All 5 people on board the Everett-based company's submersible were killed. The hearing started yesterday with testimony from a former director of engineering at the company. They're scheduled to run through September 27th. A 28-year-old man wanted in connection with shooting 2 of his family members near Othello is now in custody. The Moses Lake Police Department said they arrested Daniel Arceo Martinez near the 200 block of North Block Street on Monday after receiving a tip regarding his whereabouts. Martinez is accused of shooting his mother and stepfather at their home on the 9,000 block of Sage Hill Road over the weekend. Investigators say both victims survived their injuries, but one was last known to be in critical condition at an area hospital. Martinez is facing charges related to the shooting in Franklin County. And the Spokane Valley Board of Fire Commissioners has sent a letter to the city of Spokane and also to the Spokane Regional Emergency Communications about their concerns for changes to the 911 service. The fire commissioners say claims that suggest Spokane Regional Communications doesn't function well are incorrect. Last month, Mayor Lisa Brown said that Spokane Police will not join SREC unless they make changes. Fire commissioners said they're concerned about the city gaining control of a county-wide system. For more on these stories and others, download the WSNN mobile app. You can also visit our website, WashingtonStateNews.net.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I taught for 20 years, until I started forgetting my lectures.
Eventually, he had to quit. Getting his early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard, but it gave us time to take control of the situation together.
I can't imagine going through this without him.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by Olympic Game Farm. Chance for isolated rain showers this afternoon. Otherwise, cloudy skies expected. Highs around 63. Northerly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Overcast skies again tonight. Chance for isolated rain showers. Lows level off around 52. Daytime highs approaching 63. Tomorrow, cloudy skies expected. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Thursday, daytime highs approaching 62. 60 Friday. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 59 Saturday, 60 Sunday, and 61 on Monday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, 63.
All right, going to spend some time now with I think an important update to what is just a gem in downtown Port Angeles. And that, we're going into the second artistic year at Field Hall. A lot of folks, I'm still surprised how many folks haven't been in there to see a show or an event. If you haven't, you owe it to yourself to get there, because it really is spectacular. And I've been in there a number of times. I come out and go, how is this in Port Angeles? But it is, and we should be very thankful and using it as well. Brooke Taylor is my guest, and he is the president of the board for Field Hall. And we're going to talk a bit about kind of what happened. We've got this beautiful facility, but it's not paid for. And that wasn't the plan all along, and it's an interesting story. So, Brooke, good to see you again. First of all, thanks for coming in.
Todd, always nice to be on your show.
So let's talk about, we can blame everything on the pandemic, but this is, I think rightly so, blame this on the pandemic, because had that not come along, it would have opened sooner, and this would have been paid for,
Absolutely.
What you were saying, right?
Yeah, we had this very, very carefully planned. My board of directors is a frugal bunch, a conservative bunch, a very thoughtful bunch of people. Had a lot of big decisions to make along the way. I think every single time they made the right decision, including the decision to start when we did, when we didn't have all of the money raised, but the contractor said, we're ready to go. The architect said, we've seen many projects start out without having all the money raised, because the trajectory of our fundraising was just incredible. I mean, we were just raising money in this community hand over fist. And by the time we got the design done and ready to break ground in November of 2019, the trajectory that we were almost certain of was the building would be done in 18 months and it would be paid for. And we had the money coming in to do that. And the only thing that could have knocked that off the blocks was something called a pandemic. Right. Nobody saw it coming, nobody predicted it, and nobody knew quite what to do when it happened, except that the thing that struck us fastest, quickest, first, construction stopped for 6 weeks. And then the governor was persuaded to open up outdoor construction. And I think that was because of the remodel of the Key Arena that was going on. Right. With a hockey season coming up.
The Kraken were
that was the same contractor we had, Mortensen Construction out of Minneapolis. And but the next thing that happened, which nobody saw coming, is fundraising efforts for nonprofits trying to do a capital project just absolutely hit a wall. I mean, literally fell off a cliff, whatever metaphor you want to use. And there were a lot of reasons for that. All good reasons when you stop and think about it. Number one, fundraising at the level we were doing is a very personal, face-to-face endeavor. You have coffee with people, you have lunches and breakfasts with people, you have meetings in people's living rooms, you have tours of the facility. Couldn't do any of them. Mm-hmm. And you don't raise money the kind we needed to build this building with phone calls and emails, and it's a very, very personal thing. But in addition to that, everybody got nervous and got conservative. What's the impact of this going to be? How long is it going to last? Will there ever be a vaccine? And so all people who had wealth and had philanthropic hearts got very, very conservative. This is a time when you're going to hold on to your money. Then all of the major foundations that we were relying on, as well as government entities, all pivoted towards COVID relief, not funding capital projects. So it was just 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these factors, and all of a sudden the money's not coming in. So we continued construction because we had this huge war chest available to us that just seemed like it could never run out. But it was going up at a very steady rate, but construction costs were going up to like $1.5 to $2 million a month. We'd get an invoice. And we had a guaranteed price contract that said we're going to build this in 18 months at a certain specific guaranteed price. We had shared all of our financial information with the contractors and the architects so they could see how we were doing. And we were doing great until the pandemic. And then all of a sudden, money's going out, it's not coming in. So we got to a certain point where we had to decide what to do. And the ironic thing about it, Todd, was one of the ironic things, had we been able to finish on time, we wouldn't have been able to open.
Right.
Every theater in the country was closed. We'd have had an empty building, but that would have been better than what happened. We could have lived with that, you know, just like Black Ball Transport got through the pandemic with a little help from the government and so on. They made it, but we just had an empty building.
But it would have been a paid-for empty
It would have
building.
been a paid-for building.
Right.
Like I say, we could have managed that. We could have figured out a way around that. All I got to do is keep the heat on until things change. So we got to the point where the contractor said, you know, this is not going to work. What do you want to do? And we made the really, really tough decision to pause construction. They said, we will come back. If it's 12 to 18 months, we'll come back, and here's what it's going to take to finish what's not done. It's about $14 million. So you be thinking of that. And in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to shift our emphasis a little bit so we complete what they call shell and core to get the building completely enclosed, safe, weatherproof, the heat on, so at least you can, you know, when COVID allows, you can do tours of the building. And so you got a finished product. And we'll leave all the finish work, which was about 1/3 of the project, left. That's going to cost $14 million. And in all of the projections they had made from start to finish, they're using a 4% annual inflation rate, because that had been traditional in construction for years. I mean, you could count on it.
No, you couldn't.
No, you couldn't.
Not now.
No, you couldn't. So guess what happened? So finally, they got back to us in about a year, and they said, you know, this would be a good time to start up. Things are leveling off a little. We've got time to come back on the job. If you can guarantee us you got the money, we'll start, and we'll start on August 1st. Okay, well, we need to know before we commit to that, but what that's going to cost. Well, it's now $22 million.
Wow. In a year.
In a year.
Basically, it has gone up
in a year.
half again as
in
much.
In a year.
Yeah. Wow.
And it was like, wow. We had already raised 9 of that $14 million. I mean, we'd been working hard at it. Things loosened up. We got to where we could talk to people. We could do face-to-face. We started raising money again, and we were getting there. We were only $5 million short until it became 13.
Yeah.
And it was just like, ay. But to their credit, First Federal Bank came to our rescue with a very large donation and a commercial line of credit that said, you draw on this to get the building done. And that's they really saved the project, to their credit. I mean, that's I call that a real community bank, because it wasn't something they had to do, but they stepped up and made it possible. So then we were able to go back with all of these increased costs. Just to give you an example, Todd, so we lost our guaranteed contract. Now it's a new ball game, back to square one.
Renegotiating
every bit of the
right?
project had to be put out to bid again, because all of the subcontractors had given guaranteed bids to support the guaranteed contract. So just for an example, in our original guaranteed price contract, the cost for all of the woodwork inside the building, materials and labor, was $600,000. And that had been by competitive bid. When they put it back out to bid, it was $1.6 million.
Wow. So
wow,
$1 million plus what was the original?
Yeah. No, it was $1 million more than the original 600,000.
Right, yeah.
It was a 136% increase, and every single subcontractor came in with a much higher bid. It was all materials. Labor costs were steady. It was all materials. I mean, it was like, oh, I can't. Can you believe this is happening?
But you're stuck with it.
You're stuck with it.
You got to get it finished.
You're stuck with it, and you're borrowing money at a time when interest rates, just coincidentally, have gone up more in a 12-month period than at any time in our nation's economy. That's a double whammy.
Yeah.
And it's amazing we're up and running and thriving, but we are.
One of the things you told me right before we went on the air, too, about if the building, all had gone the way it was supposed to, and the building opened when it did, no pandemic happened, it would have been a paid-for building, and you would have had money left over for operations as
Absolutely.
well. So you wouldn't be feeling tight trying to pay to, make the place work.
That was in the budget. Operating funds would have been available. I mean, it would have been the perfect storm for this dream project.
You couldn't stop it, though. That's the other part of this thing. As much as I don't think anybody would have liked to see that happen, but that could have been an option. But I don't think it really could have been an option in this case.
I've thought of that many times, Todd. Could we leave the building sitting there? No. It was just not an option. And the way I feel about it is that we had promised this project to the community, and it was up to us to deliver. Whatever it took, our customers in this county who had supported this project so enthusiastically were entitled to have this building done, open, and running. And you do whatever it takes to make that happen. Nobody ever wanted to borrow money. It was never in the plan. But, stuff happens.
That's right.
And you just deal with it. And I think, the board made the decision that there was no other option. We have to finish this project.
Yeah. Okay, so here you are. Now you're out having to be a fundraising entity, way more than I think any of you wanted to be. I think you thought, as the president of the board, you'd be done with this kind of work for a long time ago.
I thought I'd be wandering off to pasture somewhere. But,
so where are things? And what's it going to take to get to where you're going to be back to flush?
I think realistically, we're looking at 2 or 3 years to get it all paid off. And we have a brand new, fresh capital campaign committee that is primarily not board members, not staff members, but just people in the community who stepped up and said, this is important to get this taken care of. I want to be part of that. They are making pledges, and we're working on a robust Phase 2 capital campaign, which is going to be called All In for Field Hall. And I hope everybody's still all in, because the people working on this certainly are. And we'll be rolling that out probably in October or November. And the idea is to get it done in 2 years. And we've got, of course, all sorts of different options for how we raise that money. But I think, once again, it'll be this community that steps forward and says, we love this building. We understand what happened. Couldn't have been avoided. Let's fix it.
Which is why we have you here to talk about this a bit, too, because I think as people go in there, they need to hear the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would have said,
the rest of
about
the story.
What's happening with that beautiful facility.
The rest of the story.
It's a wonderful place, though, and I'm sure you're running into this. I run into this. When people first go in there, they see something, they experience it, and they, as I said at the top of the segment, I can't believe we have this. It sells itself, and hopefully maybe that's a little bit of a springboard.
Well, the best fundraising tool we ever had was the building itself. Yeah. When we could start giving tours of the almost finished building and people could see, when you start a project like this, there are a lot of people who are conservative enough in that they're not going to donate money to a dream. They want to see a hole in the ground with a foundation being poured. Then they come off the sidelines, and that absolutely happened. And then we get them in the building and people see the possibilities. Take them up on the second floor, look at that 180-degree view of the waterfront and Mount Baker and back to the Olympic Mountains. And wow, you see what it could be. So, and the thing that amazes me is every time I go down there, if there's a concert or an event going on, there's such a happy vibe in that building. I've
know.
never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it is. You
Everybody's
open the
got
door
a
and
big smile on
it's
their
a crazy
face.
feeling.
It's kind of like the county fair, where you see people you haven't seen all year.
Yep.
It's just fun down there.
Yep.
We go to every concert we can, and never get tired of it.
And I think that vibe has a lot to do with it.
The other interesting thing that's going on, which was a total surprise, is what we call the Rainbow Lounge. Sunset Lounge. Jeez, I'm thinking rainbows. Which is basically the time between the doors open and a concert. We've made that upstairs event space available with beverages and with food, and people are loving it.
Yeah.
And our patrons actually came up with the name Sunset Lounge. And that was not something that was ever in our business plan.
No, that was...
we figured we'd have a bar up there, people could get a glass of wine before a concert, but none of this community gathering that's going on. And then things like, open mic night and comedy night and all the sort of club-like things that Steve's doing down there, everybody loves them.
Yep. And it's another terrific way to use the space rather than have it sit empty for something. And you get the community plugged into it again.
It absolutely is.
Okay, so you're going to be rolling out this next capital plan as well. I think a lot of folks might say, boy, I was concerned that, how do you keep operating, at all of this?
Yep.
So address that, if you will.
Well, that's probably the question of the day.
Yeah.
Because we're a startup, regardless of how successful you are as a startup, you don't break even your first year out. So we've had some major help from some donors to help with that. Also, the LTAC monies from the city and the county and ARPA funds from both the city and the county, which were designed to backfill budgets for nonprofits that had losses during the COVID period, have helped hugely.
I bet. Okay.
Hugely. So that has really made our operations budget solvent. And then we've had donors step up and make major donations to help with that. But, you get to a point where you got to bring enough money in the door to pay all of the expenses. I actually anticipate that'll happen in the second or third year.
Yeah.
I think this business, if you will, could actually be in the black. But in the meantime, we got to get this other little problem taken care of.
Yeah. Small problems.
Still small problems.
So how much do you expect? I mean, per year, have you penciled this out, a functioning capital campaign? I mean, you'd love it if somebody could write you a check for the whole thing. But realistically, how much do you need to bring in?
I think we're looking at about $8 million, Todd.
Mm-hmm.
And that sounds like a huge number, and it is. But compared to a $57 million total project cost, it's not. And we have never really gotten any serious federal money, and we're working hard on that to be back on Senator Cantwell's agenda, because we came close last year for a $4 million grant. I mean, that would be huge.
That'd half your debt right there.
Yeah, we've got other major donors that are starting to get interested in some of the naming rights we have left in the building. We've got, of course, the state. We're applying to be involved in the governor's budget. This is Governor Inslee's last budget, and the person actually administering it will be the new governor, whoever that is. But we're working hard on that. And, of course, we've always worked with our state legislative team. Unfortunately, we had so much success with the state's Building for the Arts grant program that we no longer qualify, because we're being reimbursed for all of the arts-related construction costs.
But in reality, had that not come along, you would have been in dire straits.
Oh, yes, we would have. And that was, I don't know if people know about that program, but it's an interesting program because it started by the Boeing Company back in the 90s. They wanted to set up a fund that would support just arts-related construction around the state. And people liked it so well that the legislature passed legislation that said, we're setting aside a designated pool of money, which is now up to $16 million in every biennial budget. And we're going to have a competitive process around the state. Arts groups are going to apply for this money for their construction projects. And the people that are going to decide who gets the money and how they're rated is the Washington State Arts Commission, which is run by our own Karen Hannon, Port Angeles native. And so we started applying for that several years ago. First year when we just had some rough schematic drawings, we got $1.1 million. The maximum you can get is $2 million, no matter, and it's a matching program. So you got to have $2 for every $1 the state gives you. So to get $2 million, you've got to have $6 million in qualified arts-related construction costs, i.e. your theater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The second year we did it, the project, there were 17 applicants that met all of the criteria. We were ranked number 1 in the state and recommended for full funding, which we got, and thanks to Steve Theringer and Mike Chapman. The last time we did it, 24 applicants, once again ranked a number 1 arts project in the state, full $2 million funding. That's the good news. The bad news is we're done.
You're done, right?
We're done.
Too bad.
So we need to find another building for the arts type program.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's well worth it, though. I think the community does realize, this is a great thing to have, and let's not squander it, so to speak, before it gets a chance to really get its wings, out and really fly.
Exactly.
So as I mentioned, we're going into the second artistic year with all of this. What are your thoughts? I mean, aside from the financial stuff, just as how it went in the first year and now moving into year 2.
I can give you some numbers if you're interested, Todd, and some people are and some people aren't. But as a general proposition, from my point of view, having worked on this since day one, it's better than my expectations by far.
Yeah.
The ticket sales, the event space rentals, everything. But if you're interested in some numbers, I can
do it.
I mean, I borrowed these from Steve Rader Ginsburg.
Tell us a little bit about how that place is being used.
He's the numbers guy. But this is the one that really blows me away. We're on a path in our first full year of operations to have 75,000 visitors in that building.
Wow.
And a lot of them are from out of the county, which is really encouraging. We're having an annual economic impact of about $4.5 million based on that first year of operations. That's ticket sales and job creation and all the things. We always sold this as an economic driver, and that is proving to be the case. Over 150 Washington-based performing artists showcased in that first year. 90-plus low-cost or free events offered annually. I'm very proud of that. Many free events, like the free jazz on Sunday afternoons. Right. People are loving that. No cost. You just go there. Ticket sales for our movie night, like $10, $15 tickets. It's cheaper than going to the theater. We've had partnerships with 25 different community organizations and 3 tribal partners, including the Lower Elwha tribe and, of course, the Jamestown tribe. Both have been big partners in this. We have this educational program that Kayla Oakes is running for us in the local schools. Over 1,000 students involved in that annually, where we take art into the classroom, performance art, fine art, visual arts, whatever. And we now got over 200 volunteers that are working down there, proudly wearing their field hall T-shirts and helping with everything. And that helps make it work.
Right.
All of those volunteers are saving us money by being there. Yeah. So
it's a fabulous facility, and I think and Steve and his crew have done a really good job. I'll just say that it's been. I think entering into it, we've never had something like this in Port Angeles, so it's kind of the great unknown.
Well, and I don't know if you remember, Todd, but this Oak Street property historically has been snake bitten.
Yes, it has.
You probably remember the 3 projects that I can remember that came at about 10-year intervals that were going to do something wonderful on that property, and they never penciled out, and they never happened. And it took a nonprofit organization to make this property work, amazingly enough. And so, out of the blue comes this one, and by God, this one worked.
Yep.
And it's because the community got behind it, and I think the community was ready for something big and good and wonderful to happen on that property.
Yeah.
It just took the right thing, and Donna Morris came up with it.
And we were just talking about Donna Morris jokingly. Our front office person, the producer of my show, Doreen Northup, is one of the only 2 people you've run into that actually knew Donna Morris.
I almost didn't get in here in time. We were having such a good time talking, but this lady was reclusive.
Yeah.
And that's not unusual for people with wealth and don't particularly want anybody to know about it. Dorothy Field is pretty much the same way, very reclusive. But I'd only met one other person that knew Donna Morse, and that was her banker, who happened to be in my service club. I would, when I'd give presentations during the first 2 or 3 years of this, and I gave many of them all over the community, I'd always ask, did anybody know Donna Morse? Because I wanted to talk to somebody that knew the lady. Nobody. And yet, out of nowhere, she makes this happen.
Yeah, it is a beautiful, well, now we all know about her.
Yep. Yeah. So I was just, it was amazing.
Brooke, congratulations on all this. I know it's a kind of a tough and it's a heavy last lift, but I thought it's important that folks out there know what kind of where you're at and how you got slammed. I mean, you basically got slammed.
We got slammed, but we're working through it, and we will get it done. The reason we'll get it done is because we'll get the same support from the Clallam County community we've had for the last 10 years. And I honestly believe that. So for me, it's still a labor of love. I wish this hadn't happened, but stuff happens. You deal with it. You deal with it.
Well, keep dealing with it.
And Todd, I should also say that Radio KONP has been a wonderful supporter. All the airtime you've given our performers
it's
before
our
the
pleasure.
concerts,
It's great.
and me and Steve and all the public service announcements, we really appreciate it.
And our pleasure. That's why we're here. We're trying to help any way we can.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
All right.
Thank you.
Brooke Taylor, great to talk to you. He's the president of the board for Field Hall. And just a little update on just kind of the next go-around for fundraising to get this thing finally fully off and paid for. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with some news coming up next.
I understand that as our world becomes more automated, receiving personalized service from a real person is more meaningful than ever. I'm Dan Shappy, and as a farmer's agent, I know a thing or two about how to help you select the insurance you want so you can
protect what matters most.
Call 360-681-0696 to learn more and chat with me, a real person and experienced farmer's agent, today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Red Carpet Car Wash in Carlsberg is always adding to the list of things they provide to keep your vehicle looking brand new. The full detail shop is just one more service to check off that list. Not only will your interior and exterior shine, your engine will sparkle too. Red Carpet is also getting some winter upgrades, including new equipment in the manual bay and new vacuums. Call Kyle today and let him get you scheduled for your red carpet treatment Tuesday through Saturday. 360-461-0826.
Hi, this is Rod Fleck. I'm asking you to vote for Randy Johnson for County Commissioner so we can keep Randy working for all of us when it comes to the important things like economic development. He's worked hard for decades and ensuring everybody has an opportunity to do better, have a better paying job, and enjoy working and living here in Clallam County. Let's keep Randy working for us. Vote for Randy Johnson this August.
Paid for by the committee to elect Randy Johnson for County Commissioner.
Fall Fest and the Extreme Sports Park presents the 4th annual Fall Fest Family Fun Days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. Our main attraction is the Monster Truck Show, Saturday 6 till 8 and Sunday 1 till 3, with a pit party 1 hour before each show. New this year are monster truck rides all day long. You'll also be able to experience hot air balloon rides, an 18-hole putt-putt course, and a 250-foot dual zip line. All of the same fun activities as past years will happen too, like kids face painting, inflatables, a pumpkin patch, and petting zoo. We still have axe throwing alley, apple slinging, and a favorite, our hay rides. And once again, you'll be entertained by the 4x4 obstacle racing. A DJ will be there all weekend with karaoke Friday night and a glow party Saturday. Enjoy the Maker's Market, food vendors, and our beer garden. Kids 12 and under are free on Friday, and you can make a weekend of it and camp with us. Fall Fest Friday 4 till 10, Saturday 11 till 10, and Sunday 11 till 5 at the Extreme Sports Park in Port Angeles.
Hi, this is Clallam PUD. If you're always on the go, you'll love our Smart Hub mobile app. You can pay your bill, report outages or other problems, and unlock new ways to save energy through monitoring your usage history, all from your phone. It's more than an app. It's a key to saving time and money. Innovation in your pocket, that's power. Download the app from our website at clallampud.net. Clallam PUD, bringing energy to life.
You're invited to the Brim Tractor Landmaster Sales Event in Sequim. This special Landmaster event is happening this Thursday, September 19th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Brim Tractor in Carlsberg on the corner of Hooker Road and Highway 101. Stop in for a day of UTV fun. We've got incredible deals with Landmaster's UTVs on sale below cost. Plus, enjoy food, refreshments, and amazing giveaways throughout the day. This is your chance to take a test drive and experience the power of a Landmaster side-by-side for yourself. Don't miss this event. Join Brim Tractor for a day full of UTV fun and unbeatable offers. Plus, enjoy food, refreshments, and amazing giveaways throughout the day. That's the Brim Tractor Landmaster Sales Event, Thursday, September 19th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. See you there.
In a time of divisive politics, we need a trusted leader with experience to tackle the issues before us. We need a strong economy that families can rely on. We need Senator